Hello, world. This is America's Supermom, and this is a special edition that I call the Corona Chronicles. During this time, we are suffering from a pandemic that is affecting everyone across the world. We are joined with the rules and regulations of being shelter in place, which means we are limited with the ability to go about our daily business, confined to our homes based on a coronavirus that has been sweeping the entire world. For some people, the effects could be mild. For others, it can be fatal. So we are coming together as a community, as a family during this time of difficulty to share what it is like in our part of the world, how we are affected, and the things that we have in common, what kind of problems that are taking place in our industries and in our relationships and finances, and coming together so that we can plan for a better tomorrow. As this epidemic or pandemic crosses the world, we are waiting for relief. We're waiting for the virus to die off and for us to go back to some state of normalcy, whatever that may be, after things kind of settle down. So, what is that going to look like once the dust settles? How are things going to be different? So, as we go through this process, we're coming together as a world to create ideas, strategies, connect in ways that we have never connected before. So, that is the purpose of the special podcast that I call the Corona Chronicles, so that we can get some insight and have empathy and compassion on one another, create new innovative ideas that can not only improve our life, but our fellow brothers and sisters across the world. Thank you so much for joining us.
I go out and go for a walk. Um,
Mhm.
uh, uh, my Rex in particular he's like almost 100 pounds. He's a big burly dog, and so I always kind of watch to see when people tend to the neighborhood people tend to walk their dogs and kind of avoid those timelines because
Oh,
Rex
yeah.
doesn't like other dogs. He's pretty I want to say territorial.
Mhm.
So, take him out and try to get them a little bit of a walk and get them out in the backyard and let them run around a little bit and play around a little bit. But life is
Mhm.
life has really thrown all of us such a curve. Uh,
Mhm.
how we how are we making lemonade out of it?
Right. I mean, we definitely are being tested, so this is true. I'm learning to pull out all kind of stuff and creativity. From coloring books to Uno cards. Okay, we trying to come up with everything, but we have been chatting, and people are probably like, "Now, who is this that she's talking to?" So we want to take a few minutes to give you an opportunity to introduce
Oh,
yourself
we're
and
6 minutes into this.
and
Oh,
let
goodness.
everybody know, how we connected and, such a connection as we can see with our conversation.
Yeah,
So, yeah, just take a few minutes to tell everybody, who you are, what you're doing, and, that type of thing.
sure, sure. Well, hello everyone. I am Kathy Connors, and I met Lachelle through a colleague that we both know, Melanie Ake.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in Houston. Melanie's in Indianapolis. Lachelle's in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And we met through happenstance through the social media realms.
Mm-hmm.
I originally met Melanie on LinkedIn. She and I connected when I had put a post out there asking people that I had connected with. I told them, I said, put one of your favorite pictures in the comments of my post, and I'm going to send you a 5x7 flat card of that picture that you can frame.
Mm-hmm.
And Melanie sent that to me, and I sent her a card, and that prompted a conversation. She was like, "That is so cool. How did you do that? Wanted to learn more." And then Melanie started using the service that for the company that I represent, send out cards, and
Mm-hmm.
she started sending you cards, Lachelle.
Mm-hmm.
And you asked that question. How'd you do that?
Mm-hmm.
I need to do that. So Melanie connected you and I, so I could help you get set up. Melanie is also an affiliate for Send Out Cards, and you saw that value as well and decided to jump
Mm-hmm.
on board. So I'm really excited to have you as one of my affiliates too. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so folks, I'm a representative for Send Out Cards. It is an online service that you create the card, and then we print, stuff, stamp, and mail real greeting
Mm-hmm.
cards and real gifts to your contacts that you put into the system. So, in this current scenario where we're dealing with right now, with don't go anywhere, don't touch anything, Send Out Cards is a great way to reach out in kindness and just let somebody know that you're thinking of them, your family, your friends, your
Mm-hmm.
colleagues. You don't have to worry about going to the post office because our system takes care of all of that. You create it
Mm-hmm.
online, and we print stuff, stamp, and mail. It melds the best of both worlds from my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
The
Mm-hmm.
technology, so you can sit at home and do whatever, and not worry about catching the COVID virus, and then we take care of it all. And our systems are set up so that even in our manufacturing facilities, it doesn't take a lot of people to handle everything. In fact, the cards get touched very little by human contact because our
Mm-hmm.
machines print it, stuff it, mail it. It's all automated up to the point where they get put into the mail bins. Um, and we
Mm-hmm.
make sure that everything is sterilized and all that stuff. So it's very convenient. Um,
Mm-hmm.
very what do I want to say? You can trust it that it's not something that is the virus isn't going to be sent to anybody that's going to catch it from the stuff
Mm-hmm.
that we send. In fact, because it takes 4 to 7 business days for mail to get wherever it's going, that
Mm-hmm.
virus can't live that long on that surface. So
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I do. I also teach continuing education classes for realtors, um,
Mm-hmm.
on the subject of relationship marketing, and that's specifically for Texas licensed realtors. Um, and I teach
Mm-hmm.
continuing education classes nationwide for CPAs on the topic of relationship marketing.
That's awesome. Now, that is something that's very unique, being able to teach continuing education. So, for many of us who their industry is being disrupted right now, they have skills and things that they could monetize. How was it that you were able to enter, the continuing education realm?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's funny because I've got a lot of people have it's like, how are you doing? Are things slowing down for you? And actually, my I'm busier than ever. I am constantly
Mm-hmm.
getting phone calls from people that want to sponsor the classes that I hold for the two different industries. People that
Mm-hmm.
are looking for the continuing education classes because they're slow right now because especially like the realtors, they can't go showing houses or this just they're kind of in a
Mm-hmm.
holding pattern, so they might as well get their continuing education out of the way. So they're like, when are you having a class? How many are having this week? Let's do this. Let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm busier than ever, and I'm just trying to get myself into the proper groove to stay focused on everywhere where I need to. So
That's awesome. Now, so when you say relationship marketing, that sounds, both words we can kind of identify with the relationship and the marketing. But what is actually relationship marketing when you're putting them together?
Yeah, so relationship marketing is more about putting the relationship first, not
Mm-hmm.
the marketing aspect. Most of the time, people will get out there and they're even now, there's like, I've got this service, I've got this product, blah blah blah. It's all about them first, and that's all about the marketing. But putting the human being um, before the transaction is what relationship
Mm-hmm.
marketing is all about. It's all about building that relationship first, really connecting with the individual and showing that you care about them. I can't even remember. I don't know if it's Zig Ziglar. That people don't care about what you know until they know about what you until they know that you
Mm-hmm.
care. I'm trying
Mm-hmm.
to get that whole wording in there. Um, that's it's held true through the ages. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Before I was doing what I do now, I'm a retired CPA, and I was in the corporate world. I worked for a large CPA firm, and the partners that I worked with were always amazed at how the clients looked to me for answers and saw me as an advisor, and they're like, "What do you do that we do
Mm-hmm.
different?" And it's because I took the time to listen to them, to get to know them, to even though I was in the healthcare industry on the finance side, but instead of going into the hospital and trying to tell them that I knew what they needed to fix anything, the first thing I did was ask them to walk me through their hospital. And the partners were
Mm-hmm.
like, "Well, a hospital is a hospital." I said, "No, you don't understand. Every hospital, every system has its own unique challenges because they may be doing something really well in one area and not very well in another. And walking through the
Mm-hmm.
facility and just letting them talk to you and share with you the great things that are going on, but they will also then open up and tell you about the areas where they need help. And they will ask you
Mm-hmm.
if is this someplace that you can help us with, or so it opens. They will open the door for you to talk about
Mm-hmm.
different aspects for you to help them with. And that's what relationship marketing is all about, putting the other person first, really seeking to
Mm-hmm.
understand before being understood.
I love that. So, if you have a prospect, different people, we've heard this term before, listening and, creating a relationship. But for many of us who may not know how to do that, what are some tips that you could give them? Because this could be a transition. They've been in business for 20 years being a salesman for something, and now, boom, they're doing something totally different. So it's like a new, fresh start. So, what are some tips that you would give them to make that transition to be more listening conscious and relationship conscious?
No, just yeah, you need to be more just relationship driven, and that is about
Mm-hmm.
taking the time, especially in this virus time that we're going through, taking the time to reach out and just ask people, "Are you okay? Is everything all right?" I just wanted to, not asking for anything in return, not saying, "Oh, hey, by the way, if you ever need anything, I can help you, with this product or that product or my service here or there." Don't talk about your services. Talk about, just reach
Mm-hmm.
out and be there for people. Sometimes helping people are just helping them with a resource. Letting them know that if they need a roofer, or if they need sometimes just that they need an ear, somebody to listen to, if they just want to talk, um, that you're there for
Mm-hmm.
them. That
Mm-hmm.
goes a long way, and it touches people in the heart to know that you care about them before you care
Mm-hmm.
about the almighty dollar. And we all need to make a living. We all need to pay our rent and our mortgages and our electric bill and everything else. But if you build the relationships,
Mhm.
those everything else will take care of itself. Everything else will take care
Mhm.
of itself. And partially that's why right now I am so busy and people are reaching out to me. I got people reaching out to
Mm.
me and asking me how can they help me with my now I'm going to online classes versus in-person classes because like, well, I want to sponsor your classes to help pay for that. Yeah, it's going to help them as well. They're going to get in front of the colleagues that they want to, but they can go sponsor other people to do their classes, but they're reaching out to
Mm.
me because of the relationship I built with them. They want to help me as well.
Mm. I love that. I love that. Now, so the send out cards, this is another thing. People say, cards, that's nice, that just sounds expensive. How does somebody go about that process of, having a customized card and they don't have to go to the mailbox or, to the post office. So that just sounds like it could be pricey. What would you say to that
Yeah.
individual?
So Michelle, as you know, we've got plans that fit everybody's pocket. Um,
Mm-hmm.
we, even if you're just an individual that wants to send a card to your uh, daughter or son that live in another state that you can't go visit right now. Uh, we have a
Mm-hmm.
basic plan that the cards are, if it's a catalog card, it's $2.75. If it's a card that you put your
Mm-hmm.
own pictures on, it's $3.75, and then you pay for the stamp and nothing else. And it goes.
Mm-hmm.
We have larger plans. My favorite
Mm-hmm.
plan is actually, especially for the business owners, need to pay attention to this one. $97 a month and
Mm-hmm.
unlimited single card sends every month, and
Mm-hmm.
that includes the stamp. So what that means is that, Lachelle, I can send you a personalized card just to you and to nobody else, and create it and send it so that it gets mailed out immediately, and it's included in that $97 price. I can send
Mm-hmm.
10 of them a day to 10 different people if I wanted to. I can send 20 a day to 20 different people, as long as it's a single card that's going to a single individual with a personalized message in it. That card is included in that $97 price.
That is awesome. And, so people who, we think that we want to send a card, thank you card, glad to work with you type card. What kind of campaign or system would you encourage somebody to kind of incorporate with their relationship marketing? Because some people are like, yeah, I don't really need a card. I don't send them. So give us some insight on what type of ways that we could um, marry the relationship marketing and the card sending for people that may not have it on their radar.
Yeah, so it's all about being more conscious about what's going on around you, and especially right now when you're on the social media, whether it's on Facebook or LinkedIn, in particular, those are two most popular online platforms right now. If somebody posts something that they started a new job, or a picture of themselves with their children, on Facebook in particular, everybody, they've got all these little, post this picture, post that picture, it's just kind of being more engaging and looking into each other's lives. Grab those photos, put them on the
Hmm.
front of a card, and send it to that person. Reach out to that person. You're friends with them, so asking them if they would mind sending you their mailing address because you want to send them something special in the mail.
Hmm.
The
Yeah.
99.9% of the time, they're just going to reply and give you their mailing address. So you can send those.
Hmm.
And that's the way to really utilize that $97 plan. For people that are in business, even beyond what we're going through now, it's like, how do I stay in touch on an ongoing basis? We have a
Mm,
functionality within Send Out Cards that allows you to schedule cards to go out in the future. So you could literally put all of your contacts in, put their birth dates in the system, add them to a campaign that has a birthday card in it, and the system will automatically send that card to them 7 days prior to their birthday. We have a function
mm,
where it's like a mail merge. It puts everybody's name on their own card, so it's very personalized. Has your return address on the envelope, so they know that it's coming from you. And it
mm-hmm.
you don't have to worry about forgetting about somebody's birthday um, anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And you'll get reminders that their birthday's coming up. So, if they get the card and they
Mm,
reach out to you, they say, "Hey, oh, thanks for the card. You got that little reminder email that came in that their birthday was coming up." So you're like, "Oh, you remember why the card got sent?" Because I
mm-hmm.
send a lot of cards, and I'll get
Yeah.
a lot of notes that say, "Thanks for the card." I was like, "Okay, I sent that like last week, and I don't." I have to go look in my
Right.
card history because our system does have card history, and I'll do a search for their name to see what card did I send them, because I sent like 100 cards in the last week because I'm sitting at home in front of my computer all day, right?
Mm-hmm. So good. Now, so for people that might be a little intimidated, they're like, okay, 100 cards, that sounds like a lot. I don't know if I have time. Walk us through your daily routine. Of course, that's a portion of your daily things with you doing continuing education. You have send out cards and I'm sure other things, but walk somebody through a routine of what your day looks like so they can have an idea. Do they have to commit 5 hours to sending out cards or something like
No,
that?
no, it's
What would
just
you?
you can because we have an app on your phone, which is one thing I didn't mention. We have an app on
Mhm.
your phone, so you literally, you can be sitting outside watching your kids play in the backyard, and um, somebody pops into your head, and you can just grab your phone, log into the app, and send the card in less than a minute. For
Mhm.
me, I usually schedule probably about a half an hour a day, just because it's my business. It's part of my continuing education. uh, I send thank you cards to all of the agents that attend the classes. And then, in fact, if I'm able
Mhm.
to get the mailing address for the agent that did not attend the class, I send them a
Mm.
card saying that we missed you. So they
Oh, that is
realized that,
so.
yeah, they were going to attend that class, and then they get a card that says, "I missed you. I'm sorry you weren't able to make it. I hope everything goes okay. I look forward to hopefully seeing you again soon. And if there's anything that I can do to help you, let me know." And
That's
now
awesome.
those cards I set up as campaigns, um, so I can
Mhm.
send 50 of them in amount. It takes me a few minutes to create the card, and then within a few clicks of the button, I'm sending 50 cards. Um,
Mm.
and once I have a card created, I can duplicate it for a different class, reword it a little bit, and send it to another group of
Mm.
individuals. So it becomes very efficient for me. But again, back to the $97 plan, you're sending 2 to 3 cards a day. That's 100 cards a month for
Mm.
$97. And it includes the stamp. Stamps are 55
Mm.
cents. So $55 out
Mm.
of that 97 would go towards
Mhm.
postage. So, and they're beautiful,
Absolutely.
beautiful
And
cards. You've seen them. The quality is amazing.
yes, it's amazing. And I still get them, and I'm an affiliate, so I'm excited. But now, what I was getting ready to ask a question about the cards. Um, okay, so when it comes to building those deeper relationships, what have you noticed with the whole element of just sending cards? Because some people are thinking, yeah, I could send cards. What difference do you think it really has made in as far as impact in your relationships by being able just to send cards?
Well, that's a really good question because
Mm-hmm.
I've that I send them a thank you email, or I'll reach out them and I wish them happy birthday on Facebook, um, but or I send them a text message. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but all of those things are digital, and they're here one second and gone the next. And one thing I
Mm-hmm.
ask folks is, do you ever get those happy birthday messages on Facebook, and then do you print them out and put them on your refrigerator? Do you get that
No.
thank you email for purchasing whatever from buying your insurance? You got your
Mm-hmm.
your insurance policy. Somebody sends you an email. Thank you for renewing your insurance policy. It's in an email. Do you print that out and put it on your desk? Do you take it and show it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, look, somebody sent me a thank you email. No, they don't. It's there one day
Right.
and gone the next. But when you get a thank you card in the mail or a birthday card in the mail, somebody's taken the
Mm-hmm.
time to put their thoughts onto a piece of paper that ultimately ends up
Mm-hmm.
in your hand. And studies have shown that um, receiving a card in the mail, just the act
Mm-hmm.
of opening a card that you receive, a greeting card. Now, it doesn't happen with a bill. It's a greeting card. You get a greeting card in the mail, and um, your body releases oxytocin when you're opening that card, that envelope, and
Mm-hmm.
that hormone is like a bonding hormone. It makes you feel closer to that person. It has an impact,
Mm-hmm.
not just at a mental level, but at your heart. You
Right.
become close. They feel for you. It's an emotion, more of an emotional attachment. And when you send those cards, they do put them on their desk. They do put them on the refrigerator.
Mm-hmm.
They do, if you send them
Mm-hmm.
to your friends and families, children, the kids will carry them around. I've got a niece that
Mm-hmm.
has cards that I've sent to my great nieces and nephews, her kids. They're in the car. They're on their wall in their bedroom. They're on the refrigerator, and the kids carry them around with them. Yeah, it's just like they have them
Mm-hmm.
everywhere. So,
That is sweet.
um,
Yeah.
so they know me and they know my puppies because my picture of me and my dogs are on the back of the card. So they're like, so Aunt Kathy, oh, there's Aunt Kathy and her doggies. So,
Mhm. How sweet is that? Now, so switching gears really quick because we're talking about, being alone during this time. A lot to process, a lot of uncertainty. So, for people who are living alone, they are in a place where they're by themselves. What advice would you give them to, um, kind of just calm their nerves, kind of continue to be hopeful, in the midst of not having things that you can control? What advice would you
I think
share
we
with
all
them?
need to focus on not the things that are out of our control, but the things that we do have within our
Mm-hmm.
control. And those
Mm-hmm.
include, just our mental state. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I have taken more than one um, what I call breaks from social media and Facebook, because you get bombarded with the COVID-19 stuff that's posted out there, and the
Mm-hmm.
political posts that
Mm-hmm.
occur. Honestly, I don't watch a lot of TV. I watch very, very little um, news because it just it's for anybody, whether you're living alone or living with a lot of individuals. It brings you down. It brings that your energy
Mm-hmm.
level down. But look for ways
Mm-hmm.
um, to reach out to people in the unusual ways that we have. The other day, last week, Tuesday, I scheduled a virtual lunch with a friend of mine. We got onto a Zoom video call, just her
Mm-hmm.
and I, and we ate lunch and chatted. So, no, she wasn't physically next to me, but it helped to
Right.
not feel so alone. You know,
Love that.
just reaching out to
Mm-hmm.
people, having those conversations, and the conversations are not about business. It's just about touching base with people and
Right.
seeing how they're doing and laughing. She and I were laughing about some of the
Mm-hmm.
things that we had seen on Facebook. Big hearty
Mm-hmm.
belly laughs, and we just chuckled and laughed so hard. It was just hilarious. I mean, she almost fell off her chair. Some of the stuff that we were talking
Mm-hmm.
about,
I love
but
that.
it's just
Yeah.
we've got to stay positive. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I love that. And I mean that is just so true. We've I went to a Zoom meeting, and we had a virtual toast. So everybody's putting their coffee cup or whatever water bottle, and there's something about that element of even connecting and being intentional. So it's like you don't really even have to be in person to be intentional with the purpose for what it is that you are
Mm-hmm.
connecting about.
Oh, definitely.
Mm-hmm. That's great. Now, so people have a lot of time on their hands. So, what is a book or a podcast or something that you could recommend for them to take part in?
Oh, there's so many options that are out there. Melanie
Mm-hmm.
Ake does some daily podcasts through her 50 and
Mm-hmm.
50 leaders that she started that uh, as part of her journey through when she turned 50 years old, I think a year and a half ago or so, like that. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Cody Bateman is very a positive and uplifting, great great podcasts and video recordings of um, from a business perspective for people to kind of listen
Mm-hmm.
to. I think it's codybateman.com. You can find some of those there. Oh, and Lachelle, of course,
Mm-hmm.
yours. Yeah, can't forget about you and
Oh,
your
thank
podcast
you.
that you got going on here. Some very interesting conversations and interesting topics. That
Mm,
I personally really look for things that are uplifting. Um,
mm-hmm.
those I've got a couple of friends that her husband and their son do a periodic podcast, and it's just on just no general topics at all. It's just whatever his son decides that he wants to talk about that day. Sometimes it's music,
Oh,
sometimes it's you know why do dogs bark? I don't know. Crazy little topics and stuff like that just kind of pop into a young.
yeah.
His son is maybe 5 or 6. So a young a
Mm,
young kid's head, the things that they talk about, and it's just like our conversation today. They kind of take a turn in many different ways.
right. I love that. I love that. And that's the whole point about being real. That's one of the things about this podcast is letting people have a snapshot of seeing that, we go through this whole thing of looking at highlight reels and what everybody else is going on. And, one of the things that really resonates with me during this pandemic is that the playing ground is level for everybody. One of the people that has been very impactful in my life with cooking is Rachel Ray. And so I just happened to catch her on a YouTube video, and her husband was filming it, and she was like, okay, we don't know what we're doing, but I'm missing my people. You know what I mean? Because she's used to being on TV, having a studio audience, and she's like, I miss them. Okay. So he was filming her make some chicken pot pie, but I mean, I just really get that. And then I was able to see Ellen. She was on a TikTok video and she was talking about, hey, I got to go
Mm.
out here for a walk. So, for many, it's like, man, you get so used to things being the way they are. And then, boom, it really kind of shows you how strong you are and, just your mindset, the things that you have to focus on in order to get past some obstacles that
Yeah,
are out of your
I think
control.
the people that are have the
Mm,
most challenges right now are the people that are um, extreme extroverts. Rachel Ray,
mhm,
she may enjoy her
mhm,
quiet time and everything like that, but she also is out there in the limelight a lot, and she's used to being
mhm,
having those interactions with large groups of people, like you said, on her show and stuff like that. And
mhm,
it's got to be really difficult for her to get up, and
mhm,
her whole purpose is has currently come to a halt. So she's like,
mhm,
how can I reach out and be with them?
mhm, mhm. Yeah, it definitely takes you out of your comfort zone. Okay,
Hmm.
this is for sure. Well, we really have enjoyed your conversation, your nuggets of wisdom, and just having that insight, from another perspective in another part of the world. I mean, you're in Houston, and I'm here in Georgia, so I just want to thank you for your time, and glad that you're staying safe, and just looking forward to many more
Well,
collaborations.
me
You
too.
know.
I would like to kind of
Mm,
give a little plug if anybody is
yeah.
interested in sending a card. They can go to
Mhm.
Lachelle's website. I want them to go to your website, since you're an
Mhm.
affiliate, for send out cards, and that is
Mhm.
www.sendoutcards.com / 232946. That's sendoutcards.com / 232946. That'll take you directly over to Lachelle's send out card site.
Mhm.
She's one of my team members. I'm excited to have her on my team. But
Mhm.
go there and check it out. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out to me or to Lachelle to have us answer questions. In fact, reach out to Lachelle and she'll connect you with me. That Just go that way. That way you don't have to worry about trying to write down all this different information on my contact information. You got Lachelle's. Reach out to her. She'll connect all three of us together, and I can give you a hand.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, again, I want to thank you, Kathy. I've enjoyed this time, and want to also remind people that routines are so important. Because we have a call that we schedule weekly. That's why we probably had this little
Yeah.
sidebar before we got started. Um, to where you hold me accountable with the send out card business, so there are things that I work on during the week because a lot of people think, man, she is doing these videos, she's over here doing that, how does she keep it together? And you got to have coaches and accountability partners in order to do what it is that you do. So I wanted to also include that and say that I thank you for the time that you invest in me every week. And I look forward to us growing um, every year, closer and closer and
Good. Well,
collaborating on
you're
even
very
more things.
welcome. I'm glad that we've gotten to know each other, and I look forward to really getting to know each other a lot better um, in the coming months and years.
Awesome. Okay. Well, you have a wonderful evening. And I want to thank you again for your
You
time. And we'll
too,
talk
as
soon,
well,
okay?
Lachelle. Bye now.
Okay. Bye bye.
What a great interview. And I love the whole theme of this conversation about relationship marketing. So, as you can notice from the recording, it is a little non traditional in the beginning. just to kind of illustrate what it takes to have those deeper relationships. Just a simple phone call, a little warm chatter of real life events that are going on around us and not always business, business, business. So I decided to kind of keep that element in there just for people to see the authenticity. And this is one of the things that I think we should be mindful of during this time is being authentic, taking the time to express our needs and fears and just being transparent so that we can all move through this pandemic together, moving in a positive way. Everything around us is not going to be positive always, but if we can have a great positive approach towards how we're going to move forward, that is something that's beneficial. If you are interested in being a guest, I invite you to send me an email at info@lachelleatkins.com, or you can reach out to me through Messenger, Facebook Messenger, LinkedIn, Instagram, or Pinterest. I also have a YouTube channel. And any of these platforms, you could reach out to me to be a guest and just give your input for what you're doing to overcome this pandemic and keeping yourself positive and motivated. So I want to thank you all for listening. Have a great day.